Well, let's go across to Saurabh Gupta, who joins us from outside that naval dockyard. Saurabh, so that is the latest that we've just learned from Nitin. Even as salvage operations and rescue operations are underway, Navy divers at work. 3 bodies finally recovered of the 18 men who are missing.
Well, that's right. The diving operations, the rescue operations are still continue, but the major roadblock for the Navy divers is the muddy, shallow waters. Now, not only is it muddy and shallow, that's reducing visibility and causing problem for the Navy divers to do their work in a more speedy fashion, but also there is another issue. Now, this is a unique accident. The submarine has sunk in the dockyard itself, which means that very little space around the submarine for Navy divers to actually go and continue their operations. And also the fact is that the tremendous heat generated by the explosion has meant that various parts of the submarine have melted, which has caused the many parts of the submarine the Navy is having to cut open. So that means that the time taken to reach these people who are trapped inside is more. Now, all we know is that the Navy PRO is expected to make a statement in a short while from now. Like you mentioned, 3 bodies found, which means closure for 3 families. But also the fact is that there are still 15 personnel who are still to be accounted for. Now, like the Navy chief said, that they're hoping for the best while preparing for the worst. And the worst need not be mentioned right now till there is an announcement from the Navy. But the point is that the time is running out. It's been more than 48 hours since that accident took place. The submarine has been underwater for so long, and with each passing hour, the hopes of finding survivors diminishes. Actually, the Navy now is trying to account for all those people. If 3 bodies have been found, that still means that 15 people are to be accounted for. We're expecting a statement soon here at Lion Gate.
All right, Saurabh, now even right now as the focus is on recovering those the bodies and the rescue efforts, of course the bigger question remains how this accident, of course sabotage has more or less been ruled out, how this accident is a big setback for the Navy.
Well, that's right. As Nathan Gokhale has been pointing out on NDTV, the fact is that it does reduce the capabilities of the Navy. Now, this was a top-class submarine of the Navy, and like mentioned earlier, it had undergone a midlife rehaul, refit. Just a few months back, it had returned. And in fact, one of the larger tragedies for the Navy is the human aspect, the loss of 18 personnel is what the Navy could be looking at, of course, and that is one of the fears that the Navy has, because remember, these are highly trained personnel, and of course the human resource of the Navy also affected, because these are 18 people who were on board the ship, and of course the Navy is yet to account for them. So clearly what the Navy is looking at is to first try and account for these 18 people, and then actually try and salvage the submarine itself. And a decision has not been taken on whether to rope in foreign help for actually retrieving the submarine, but those are questions and those are issues that are under consideration at the moment. No call taken on them yet, but clearly yes, the Navy will be looking at rescuing everything that it can, whether it's the equipment, whether it's the submarine, or whether more importantly it is the human lives at stake.